My name is Leland Blank. I graduated from St. Mary's University with a bachelor's degree in industrial engineering in the year 1967, a long time ago. And then I came to Oklahoma State and I got a master's degree in 1969. I came here in 1967 and I had already taken a lot of the doctoral courses, and I finished my dissertation in defense in 1970 when I could then say doctor. Well, I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm an only child. I was raised between a grocery store that my parents had in San Antonio and a cattle ranch that my favorite uncle had outside of the city of San Antonio. So I come from a kind of what would you say, a lover of earth and plants background. I was at St. Mary's University in San Antonio, and I was an industrial engineering student. And the first class that I took that was a formal industrial engineering course was given by the head of a new engineering department at that fairly small university. And his name was Dr. Turgut Ozan. He was from Turkey. And I got my midterm grade in his course, which was an operations research class. And I had made 89 on the midterm exam. And these were in the days back in the late 60s when you always got a formal midterm grade, and I got a D. Knowing that that was a mistake, I went to see Dr. Ozan, who I'd never been with before, and pled my case. And he said, well, this grade doesn't count and you can do a lot better. And by the way, I think you should think of being an educator. You should go on to graduate school. Of course, that didn't mean a heck of a lot to me when I was a sophomore, but he became a mentor, and he taught me that I needed to be in industry for a while and that I could well be a researcher and a teacher in a university. Progress took place, and I ended up at Oklahoma State for some interesting reasons. I guess I would say that Dr. Ozan was the beginning of that. I really wanted a program that allowed a person to take courses in engineering and also in business at the same time, so that there was this kind of personal and individualistic dimension to the education, as well as the technical and structured aspects of engineering. Quite honestly, Oklahoma State was the only program that I could find. OSU had what I wanted. I came up here, I enjoyed it, did good grades, stayed in IE, got to take a lot of statistics and management courses, some psychology courses in both my master's and PhD. I got funded by NASA on a fellowship for all the remainder of my master's and my entire PhD program. So there's just no question that I came to the right place. I am so pleased to see that this university is not just growing, but that the spirit and the theme are still here. In my view, land-grant institutions do that better than many of the other ones that become so technically involved. The faculty here still, to a great degree, have practical experience. They work well with industry. The students have that kind of connection. I still see not just the remnants, but the active production and continuation of this whole person development, so that when a person goes through this university, they can get on the job and an employer can know that they will be productive faster than if they had gone to other institutions, and I'll include OU in that. Oklahoma State brought to me the realization that I really wanted to be an educator. Another thing that Oklahoma State did for me, when I was a graduate student here, the then department head of industrial engineering was a gentleman named Wilson Bentley. He also nurtured me and took me with him on a couple of his consulting trips with senior management. I can remember going to Ponca City and to Enid and some of the other places where he worked. I believe that he instilled in me the interest to, maybe then an unconscious interest in higher education management. So after I finished climbing the ranks of a professor and was asked to be a department head, then an associate dean, then an associate provost, and then we went overseas and it was full-time management. I saw that the department and the education that it had allowed me to take made me prepared to be a person of soliciting compromise. I found that some of the skills came from those little inceptions of when I got to go with somebody who knew how to do this with senior management. And that came from this institution. And it's had a lifelong impact upon my career and, frankly, relationships with people in general.